Hi, my name's Lawrence, also known as Larry, also known as the Discombobulated Rascals. Recently, I've been playing this game called Super Auto Pets. Super Auto Pets is a deck-building strategy game where you need to craft the perfect team of pets in order to win 10 rounds of the game without losing all 5 of your lives. As of right now, there are a total of 252 unique pets in the game, and considering the fact that you can have 5 pets on your team at a time, you can imagine that there would be a wide variety of combinations and synergies between your pets. And that's what makes Super Auto Pets so fun, trying to find the perfect combination of pets and experimenting with some zany, goofy stuff. So the game is essentially Pokemon, but it's just a battle system and you don't actually catch the Pokemon, you just buy them instead. But jokes aside, I think this game is really cool. I just want to talk about this game and try to convince people to play it because I think it's so fun. You can also get the game for free on Steam or on your mobile device, so there isn't really a reason to not play it. So Super Auto Pets has 2 gameplay phases, those phases being the shop phase and the battle phase. The shop phase is the part of the game when you're in the shop, and the battle phase is the part of the game when you're in battle. Once you understand that, then that will be the moment you truly master Super Auto Pets. So every game of Super Auto Pets starts in the shop, and every time you enter the shop, you will be granted an astounding 10 cents. You can spend the money on pets, food for your pets, or rerolls. Pets are little guys that have stats and possess quirky abilities, like enhancing your other pet's health and damage when they get brutally sacrificed in battle, or giving your other pets permanent stat-ups when they level up. Your pets will also become stronger if you merge them with a copy of themselves, and if you merge a pet with itself enough times, then the pet will level up and its special ability will be upgraded. Some pets like the pig don't benefit from leveling up that much, but other pets like the giraffe literally need to level up in order to actually be useful. Foods are consumables that either enhance your pet's stats or give them a specific special ability, unless the food is rice or avocado. I think those foods just give you money essentially. But the steak, for example, makes it so that the pet that currently possesses the steak does 20 extra damage once per battle. Or the apple, for example, just gives one of your pets plus 1 damage and plus 1 health permanently. The reroll button allows you to reroll the shop because it's called a reroll button. It's also good to know that rerolling when either the food or pet section of the shop is empty will actually restock that part of the shop. Every pet and food in the game costs 3 gold to purchase, and rerolls cost 1 gold per reroll. So in the average first round of Super Auto Pets, you'll probably end up spending 9 gold buying 3 pets and spending 1 gold on a reroll. And it might seem kind of silly to spend 1 gold on a reroll when you've already spent the rest of your money purchasing other pets.
But that's what the flea mechanic is for.
One of the most important things to keep in mind in Super Auto Pets is your ability to freeze pets that are currently in the shop. Every time you leave the shop and go into battle, the shop will automatically reroll itself when you return. So let's say that you just bought 3 pets to add to your team, and you reroll to restock the shop with pets just in case you see a pet you like, and you actually end up getting a cool pet, so you freeze that cool pet so it doesn't get rerolled when you return to the shop. You can also sell your pets on the black market to earn 1 gold in return, and make space for even stronger pets. So the first round of Super Auto Pets usually consists of buying 3 pets, rerolling to restock the shop, and freezing some of the pets you see in the shop so you can buy them next turn. Now the gameplay that I've just described might have made this game sound kind of boring to some people, but now that I've talked about the shop, I can actually talk about the fun part of Super Auto Pets. That being the battle phase. The battle phase of Super Auto Pets really puts the Super Auto into Super Auto Pets, as your team of pets will super automatically attack the other super automatic pets on the enemy team. Well, yeah, the battle phase doesn't really have that much going on. Yeah, you usually get to watch your pets violently smack around other pets, which is kind of funny. Like, the shop phase is the part where you actually strategize and create your team and stuff, and the battle phase is the part where you see if your strategy actually works or not. The game also makes it so that the person you're going up against currently has the same amount of lives and wins as you do. That way you aren't going up against somebody who already has a level 3 hippo and is just one-shotting your entire team. The pets on both teams will be attacking each other at the same time, so winning battle all comes down to if your pet's stats and abilities are stronger than the enemy's. So to some people, the game still might sound kind of boring, like, you just add a couple of pets to your team, only to have them automatically attack the enemy pets, essentially making the gameplay non-existent. But just wait until I tell you about the tiers of pets. Every couple of turns in Super Auto Pets, you will unlock a new tier of pets, with each tier consisting of stronger or more complex pets than the last. On turn 3 you unlock the tier 2 pets, on turn 5 you unlock the tier 3 pets, on turn 7 you unlock the tier 4 pets, on turn 9 you unlock the tier 5 pets, and on turn 11 you unlock the tier 6 pets. The tier mechanic of Super Auto Pets adds a lot of variety and strategy to the gameplay, especially considering how you can get a pet that's in a higher tier than the one you're currently in, by leveling up one of your pets. Like, if you were on turn 5 and you leveled up one of your pets, then you would be granted the option to get one of 2 random tier 4 pets without having to be on turn 7. The food in Super Auto Pets also scales with the tier your pets are on. Like, you have the apple and honey as tier 1 foods, and on turn 3 you get deadly drugs and cannibalism as tier 2 foods. Now, the game still might sound kind of boring to some people, like, even though there are different, like, tiers of pets and food and stuff, it's just, like, the same stuff, but with bigger numbers. And you're kind of right, but, wait until you hear about the different strategies and synergies here on Super Auto Pets. One of my personal favorite synergies in Super Auto Pets is cow and rabbit. The way the cow works in Super Auto Pets is that every single time you buy it, it will replace the food in the shop with milk. The best thing about the cow is the fact that the milk it gives you is actually free. And when you feed a pet milk, it will be granted +1 attack and +1 HP. The level 2 and level 3 cows do the same thing, but the milk it gives you grants your pet slightly higher stats. The way the rabbit works in Super Auto Pets is that whenever one of the pets on your team eats food, the rabbit will give that pet +1 HP. The level 2 and level 3 rabbits do the same thing, but they give the pet who eats the food even more HP. The rabbit synergizes well with foods that multiple friends can eat at the same time, like sushi. And even though milk doesn't feed several pets simultaneously, I still like using rabbit and cow together a lot because whenever one of your pets drink the milk from the cow, they'll get an extra 1 to 3 HP depending on your rabbit's level, on top of the stats your pet already gets from the milk. This synergy probably isn't even that strong, but I just really like using it. I don't know, it's so satisfying to me. That's kind of the way I'd summarize this entire game. It's really simple and doesn't have that much going on, but it's really fun and satisfying to play. Super Auto Pets is kind of in the same vein as something like Vampire Survivors, where when you hear somebody describe how the game works, or maybe you look at some gameplay footage of it, you might be like, this game looks really boring. This game looks bad and stupid and dumb and like an unpleasant experience, and it's going to cause me negative emotions, and it's bad and boring and stupid, but when you actually play the game, it's like... Another synergy I like using is elephant and camel. The way the elephant works is that every time it gets hit, it will damage the friend behind it for 1 HP. And on level 2 and level 3, it will hit the pet behind it for 1 HP more and more times. Now this might sound like a bad thing, and that's because it is. It's really bad. The elephant is only good with like 2 pets in the entire game, but the elephant does happen to synergize really well with the camel. The way the camel works is that every time it gets hit, it will give the friend behind it +2 attack and +2 HP. With the level 2 and level 3 camels giving the friend behind even higher stats. If you put the camel behind the elephant, every time the elephant gets damaged, it will also damage the camel, which will give the pet behind the camel stats. I think this is a good strategy, or synergy, because stats are good. Stats are kind of how you win the entire game. There's a lot more synergies in Super Auto Pets I could talk about, but I kind of just made my point talking about those 2 synergies. There are a ton of different builds you can make in Super Auto Pets, and I think that's really cool. Something that most of my favorite games have in common is that they have a lot of variety and different possibilities for runs, like The Binding of Isaac, and Enter the Gungeon, and Terraria, and Elden Ring. All of those games have a lot of different items and ways to play them. And that's what makes Super Auto Pets so fun. There's a ton of different pets, and foods, and builds, and strategies, and I just like it a lot. The actual core gameplay loop of Super Auto Pets is really simple. You just need to make a team of pets powerful enough to win 10 battles without losing 5 lives. But I don't think its simplicity necessarily equates to it being like bad or boring, as long as the game doesn't just play out the exact same way every time you play it. Super Auto Pets is kind of like the inverse of a game like Hollow Knight, where Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games of all time, with a ton of layers, and it has a ton of bosses and NPCs, and the character you play as has a ton of abilities, but your experience with it is mostly going to be the same after replaying the game a few times. Super Auto Pets is an extremely simple game, but it has an insane amount of builds and strategies and runs you can create, giving it immense replay value. So I just wanted to talk about Super Auto Pets because I've been playing it a lot recently, and I think it's a very good video game. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can get the game for free on Steam or on your phone, which is pretty cool. I also learned about this game from a YouTuber called Northern Lion, and he has a bunch of videos on his channel about Super Auto Pets, so I just wanted to mention him because he's indirectly responsible for this video's existence, and I think his videos are funny. So you should try out Super Auto Pets. It's a good game. It's easy to get into. Remember to eat poop. Remember to do your taxes. Remember to brush your teeth and take showers. And bye.